Peace and blessings. It is Tia Deshay, or I am Tia Deshay, and this is Mere Moments with Tia Deshay podcast, episode 12. Today is Friday, May 10th, 2024. It is currently 9:38 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, so let's begin with a prayer and decrees and declarations. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And leave us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. All right. And our decrees and declarations come from Prayers That Activate Blessings by John Eckhart. I will obey your commands so that I will grow in wisdom. Fill me with your spirit, O God, and give me great wisdom, ability, and expertise in all kinds of crafts. Lord, give me wisdom and knowledge to lead effectively. Let those who have gone before me teach me wisdom of old. True wisdom and power are found in you, God. The price of your wisdom, O Lord, cannot be purchased with jewels mounted in fine gold. Its price is far above rubies. I will keep silent, O God. Teach me wisdom. Your wisdom will save me from evil people and from the immoral woman. One second. I am highlighting. This really stood out to me. Where it says, let those who have gone before me teach me wisdom of old. Side note, this confirms that when our loved ones leave us, a lot of times, you know, in religion, is especially in Christianity, they have a hard time and they criticize when people honor their ancestors. And it's not that we worship our ancestors. We don't treat them, we're not worshiping them. We're not making them idols. But we understand that just because you cease to exist physically, it doesn't mean that you cease to exist. It just means that you don't exist in this plane of existence. You just exist in another realm. And that you have the ability to speak to those of us that are still here, and whatever way you choose to speak to us. They could send some people, like Tabitha Brown. She says that her mother, when she the way she knows her mother is present is through dimes. So they can speak to you by leaving money. It's no coincidence you're finding pennies and dimes and nickels when you're out. They can speak to you through a billboard, or a license plate, or through a TV commercial. But I had to stop and pause. Let those who have gone before me teach me wisdom of old. Your loved ones have gone before you. They're no longer here. They have. That's why at a funeral, in the obituary, it says those who have preceded you in death. They've gone before you. They have entered a different dimension before you have. You're still here on this earth plane, and they have gone before you, and they can teach us things. I truly believe that God uses them as a hierarchy, that God uses them to speak to us. But that's a different podcast on a different day, but that stuck out to me. Let those who have gone before me teach me wisdom of old. All right. True wisdom and power are found in you, God. The price of your wisdom, O Lord, cannot be purchased with jewels mounted in fine gold. Its price is far above rubies. I will keep silent, O God. Teach me wisdom. Your wisdom will save me from evil people and from the immoral woman. I will embrace your wisdom, for it is happiness and a tree of life to me. I will pay attention to your wisdom, O Lord. I will listen carefully to your wise counsel. Now, yesterday on Thursday, May 9, 2024, I recorded and uploaded 2 episodes, and I was talking about the power of our mouth, the words that come out of our mouths, and also I talked about forgiveness. And it's interesting how God always confirms. After I do a podcast or upload a video, God always confirms the word that went forth, always. So I was talking to a friend yesterday. 2 ways that the word was confirmed yesterday was I did not attend church this past Sunday. The church that I belong to is not located here in Michigan. And so I attend online, obviously. And I didn't attend this past Sunday. So I listened to the message yesterday, and it was everything that I spoke about on my podcast yesterday, everything. So that was one way that the message was confirmed. Everything he was talking about confirmed, and it was in alignment with what I spoke about yesterday. The second way the word was confirmed to me was I was talking to a friend, and he was telling me about a friend of his who was unfortunately thinking about suicide. And we're going to pray right now, in our Lord, in our master teacher's name, Jesus, who taught us how to pray, who gave us a model of how to pray. I speak against that voice that is telling him that life, this world would be better without him present. He has a lot of life to live, a lot of life to live. And may somebody come across his path that will remind him of how valuable he is, how much this world needs him. And that however he receives the help that he needs, whether it's through therapy, to mental health, whatever it is, however God chooses to send help to help him deal with the setbacks of life, and to let him see that there are options. There are more options than ending his life. However that comes across his path, so be it, and may he be open to receive it. And may he realize that it is God's way of showing that he matters, that he is important, that we need him, that we need him. It's not his time to go. It's not his time to leave. We need him. And I thank you, God. I thank you, God, for the privilege of praying for him, for the privilege of loosing resources and people in his life so that he can be helped. I thank you. And this prayer will come to pass, because my words will not return void, because I am created in the image and likeness of God. So my words will not return void. It will do what it was sent forth to do, this prayer. And I am so thankful. I am so thankful. In the name and in the authority of Christ, I pray and loose this prayer. Amen. So be it. It is. Ashe. Amen. So anyway, I was talking to my friend. He was telling me about the particular person that we just prayed for. And, it seems as if every time he takes a step forward, he's pushed back 5 steps. So he realized, so he didn't know that, according to the conversation, he didn't know that his license had been suspended. He didn't know this. He didn't find out until he was at work. His supervisor came to him and said that we're going to let you go. We're terminating you right now, immediately, because we found out that, your license is suspended, and we're not going to pay you. So the hours that you worked, we're not paying you. is that you're terminated as effective immediately. Right now, you're terminated. They walked him out. So he's been experiencing several setbacks. So what was revealed to me and to the person that I was talking to, my friend, was that I'm like, I said, there's a blockage. There's some unforgiveness. He needs to trace his steps back, and he needs to do what God told him to do. Whatever was the last thing that he felt like he needed to do, like it just kept coming up, that he just kept being reminded. Because remember, the message yesterday was warning comes before destruction. So he needs to go back. What is it that he's been reminded to do that he just hasn't done for whatever reason? And it's okay that he hasn't done it, for whatever reason he just hasn't done it. It's okay. We're not going to beat him up. There's no judgment here, none of that. But obviously it's connected to him moving forward and progressing. So as I'm talking to my friend is like, I really do think, and he said, I've told him this time and time again, because I want to be very clear. God will always send a messenger in your life, a prophet, a messenger. God will always send a person to you to give you a message before things start to go haywire in your life. Somebody always comes to you to give you a message. It could be a person in the grocery store. They could come to you directly. They may send you a text message. They may hit you up in your DMs. You may see a commercial. You may overhear a conversation while you're out shopping or you're out and about. I am here to tell you that God is not in the business of, I just want to make your life a living hell. God will time and time and time and time and time and time and time again give you warnings to get it together. There will always be a messenger to let you know that you need to get it together. This is what will help you in your life. This will help you get to where you need to go. This will help you get out your situation. You are always going to be given a prophet, a messenger, always, always. Because it's not God's plan to set you up and see you fail and laugh at you. So my friend was saying to me, like, I told him, like, I really do feel like he needs to forgive, or ask for forgiveness, that he needs to ask for forgiveness, apologize to a particular young lady that he was dating. He said, I've told him this. He said, I don't know why I feel this way. He said, I really do feel that the situations in his life is because he has not apologized to this young lady that he was dating. And that if he would just apologize, things would start turning around for him. And that was the second confirmation about the word that I released yesterday, that I was used to release yesterday, about forgiveness, about what comes out of your mouth, that you're holding up your life because of your pride, and you won't just go and say, I apologize. Because we're so caught up in our mind about, well, what if they don't accept it, or what if they say something smart, or what if they act nasty toward me. We're so caught up in what the person may say or how they may respond that we don't do what we're told to do, and that's apologize. It doesn't matter how that person responds. It's on them. After you apologize, it's on them. You have done what you were supposed to do, and now it's on them. The ball is in their court. Now, obviously, clearly, don't you we cannot expect depending on the level of pain that was afflicted upon this person, that you afflicted upon this person, we can't expect this person to just be like, oh, okay, we're friends again, or we can become lovers again, we can get back into a romantic relationship again, or we can become business partners again. That's unrealistic. It may be just simply you apologize and that you two go your separate ways. And that's okay. Don't don't get caught up on what you think it should look like once they apologize. And then if it doesn't look that, or once you apologize, I'm correct, I stand corrected. Don't get so caught up on what you think it should look like once you apologize. If they choose not to be your friend anymore, if they choose not to be your business partner anymore, if they choose not to get back into a romantic relationship with you anymore, that's okay. Don't get your feelings hurt over that. You did what you were supposed to do. You apologize, and now you can move forward in your life. Stop attaching an expectation to it, because then you attach an expectation and then it keeps you in your head, and then you never apologize, and then you wonder why you keep repeating the same loop over and over again on repeat of why you can't seem to move forward. Just apologize and don't worry about what the person's going to say, how they going to respond, none of that. Because at the end of the day, you got to get free. You need to move forward. That's what matters. Not them. We so concerned about other people. If we would take that same energy that we focus on other people and focus on ourselves, we would be so much further ahead in our lives. We would be so much more blessed and prosperous and happy and healthy and abundant. So that was the second confirmation that this person, you know, through my friend, you know, God used my friend to speak to him and say, man, I really do think you need to go back and apologize to that, that girl you was dating. That's what you need to do. So he has to make the connection. He has to get over his pride and do what needs to be done. And I pray that he does that, so that he can continue to move forward in his life. Because like I told my friend, a lot of times we think that all I need to do is, because religion, church gives us a false, some people that are in ministry they don't tell us the complete story. They tell us, oh, all you got to do is stop doing it. Stop doing whatever it is you did to hurt somebody, or stop living that life. Just stop doing it. And we think that if we just stop, that we're no longer held responsible for what we did in the past. That's not true. Yes, we got to stop doing it, and we got to be committed to being a different person and making different decisions. Yes, that part is true. That part that you received in church or in a sermon or in a message, that part is correct. But there's more to it. Sometimes you may be called to go back and right your wrongs and apologize and make amends and give restitution. However that may be. Some of you may have to pay back the money you stole. Some people may have to spend some time in jail. Some people may have to lose a job. They may have to lose a relationship. They may have to lose some money, take a hit in their finances. That may be the price you have to pay for what you did in the past. See, we aren't told that part. We just think, oh, I just don't do that no more and I'm good. No, it may be more to that. There may be some more instructions to that. And that's when you have to seek the face of God to see, are you completely cleared from your past? Have you done everything that you're supposed to do to make amends of your past or from your past, to rectify the mistakes of your past? Have you truly done everything you were supposed to do? Is it more than just stop doing what you're doing? Stop hanging out with the people that you're hanging out with? Is it more to it than that? And once you know you've done everything, then you're able to move forward. Then your past won't ever come back to haunt you, because you've done everything you were supposed to do to close that door in your life. And oftentimes we're not told that in religion, in the messages that we hear from the pulpit, from churches, from ministers. So if you find yourself just constantly repeating a loop, every time you take a step forward, you go backwards 5 steps. Ask God, have I done everything I needed to do to rectify my past? Is it something else I need to do? And wait for the answer. And I guarantee you, once you receive the answer and you act on it, the chain will be broken. You'll no longer be on this constant repeating the same thing over and over again. So those are the 2 ways that I received confirmation about the word that I released yesterday. Now today, remember I told you I don't get on here unless I'm told to get on here. And God spoke, the Spirit spoke and said, you're going to talk about today. The message is, and it's going to be an episode 13, because it's a lot that I am to give to you, but I'm not going to do it all in one episode. So in this episode, we're talking about friends who are enemies, enemies who are friends. Friends who are enemies, enemies who are friends. Friends who are enemies, enemies who are friends. I would dare to say that most of the problems that occur in our life occur because, 1, the words that come out of our mouths; 2, the people we choose to call friends; and 3, the people we choose to get into romantic relationships with, or who we choose to marry. Most of our problems come from those 3 choices. And I will repeat that. I would dare to say most of the situations and problems that we face is because, 1, of the words that we say, the words that come out of our mouths; 2, the people that we call friends; and 3, the people that we choose to get into a romantic relationship with, or who we choose to marry. Most of our problems can be traced back to those 3 things. Today, we're going to talk about friends who are enemies, enemies who are friends. There are people in our lives that we are calling friends that are really enemies, and that who we are calling enemies who are really our friends. We've all heard the saying in one shape, form, fashion, or another. And now it may be different in your culture, because I realize people that are listening and watching this video, they are not just in the United States. So in your culture, there may be, there may be a phrase, an aphorism, a proverb that that has the same meaning as this phrase that's on the screen, but you just say it differently based on your culture. Here in America, there is a phrase, an aphorism, a proverb, if you will, that says, with friends like these, who needs enemies? With friends like these, who needs enemies? According to the American Heritage Dictionary, friend, the Old English source of modern English friend, is related to the Old English verb friend, to love, like, honor, set free from slavery or confinement. What comes to mind right now, what immediately came to my mind, Alice Walker, the novelist Alice Walker, the one who wrote The Color Purple. She has a quote that says, "A friend who demands, a person who demands your silence." How? What? Let me say it correctly. It's Alice Walker quote. Here it is. No person is your friend who demands your silence or denies your right to grow. And I spoke about that yesterday on my podcast. A person who tells you don't say nothing, but I heard this. That's not your friend. A person, we teach children. A person who tells you, don't you tell your mommy and daddy this. We teach our children that that person is not your friend. They're not good for you, and you need to immediately come and tell an adult what that person is doing to you or saying to you. We teach our children that all the time. Well, hopefully we teach our children that anybody that demands you not to tell your parent what they're doing to you, that's not your friend. You're in danger, you need to run, stranger danger, and you need to go and tell a trusted adult, your parent or someone else that you trust. We teach our children this, yet we turn around and do the opposite, and we think that that person is our friend. We'll go tell our friend or say to our friend, "Girl, don't say nothing. Don't repeat what I said, but I heard this." That's not your friend, because your friend is going to encourage you to find out if that's really true or not. First of all, your friend is not going to sit there and engage and entertain gossip. And they're going to look at you sideways, because my elders have always taught me that if a person talks about people to you, they're talking about you to other people. So first of all, if they're gossiping to you about somebody else, that's not your friend to begin with. And then if they follow it up with, "Oh, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Can I trust you not to say nothing? But I heard this." That's not your friend either. Because your friend is going to encourage you to go find out the truth. They're not going to ask you to keep lies a secret. First of all, they're not going to even repeat a lie, let alone demand that you keep a lie a secret. Also, a friend, according to this Alice Walker quote, is denies your right to grow. A friend is not going to keep you where you are and get mad at you for wanting more out of life. A friend is going to encourage you to go and get everything that belongs to you. Go get it, go get it, go get it. I hear Donald Lawrence's song in my head about go get your inheritance. Go get it, go get it, go get it. A friend is going to encourage you to get everything that belongs to you. Everything that's your divine birthright and inheritance. A friend is not going to low key keep you where you at. A friend is not going to say, "Girl, I don't know. I don't know if you should do that. I mean, do you got the time for that? Do you got the money for that? You really going to be able to do that?" A friend is not going to do that. They're going to say, "Go girl, go girl, go girl, go girl. Man, bro, I'm proud of you. Go get that money. Go get that degree. Go get that wife. Go get that husband." Go get it. 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 Go to Hollywood. Go write that screenplay. Go get that record deal. Go write that book. Go apply for that job. They're not going to discourage you and keep you where you are. So, as I go through this podcast and the next one, ask yourself, are the people that I'm calling my friend, are they really my friend or are they my enemy? And the people that I consider my enemies, are they really my friends? Because oftentimes who we consider our enemy, well, let me stop. Okay. Let's talk about the friend. I'm getting ahead of myself because that's going to be the next slide talking about enemies. So our friend, what let's look at this. To love. Your friend loves you. Whether you right or wrong, you know, whether you dress to the nines or you not, your friend loves you. They love you. A friend also will show their love to you by letting you know that you're wrong, by letting you know that you're selling yourself short, by letting you know you're more valuable than that. Why are you allowing this? Why are you allowing this in your life, this person in your life? Or why are you shortchanging yourself? A friend will love you enough to tell you, like, girl, you worth more than that. What you doing? Why are you selling yourself short? Why are you discounting yourself? Why are you putting yourself on sale? Why you not, going out there being the best that you can be? A friend who loves you will tell you that. A friend who loves you will remind you, hey girl, you said in 2 years, you were going to have your degree. Well, it's been 2 years. What's up? Where's your degree? Why you ain't doing it? What's going on? Do you need some help? Can I help you? That's love. A real friend likes you. They like you whether you got on designer or not. Your friend likes you whether you drive in a Benz or a Honda. That's a friend. A friend honors you. If you got friends who come over to your home and they treat your home like it's a waste basket, a trash can, they come home, they come to your house and just leave stuff on the floor. They don't pick up behind themselves. They put their feet on your furniture. They just real disrespectful to your environment. They get in your car and they smoke in your car, and they get in your car and they put their feet out the window, like they leave trash in your car. That's not honoring you. That's not, you know valuing your possessions like you value your possessions. A friend will honor you. A friend, if it's your birthday and they have a party and they invite you to their party, a friend will not try to compete with you on that day. That's your birthday. That's your celebration. And it will be all about you. They're not trying to get the spotlight. They're not trying to get all the attention on them. They will honor you. They will bring gifts. They will celebrate with you. They will make sure that all eyes are on you, that you get all the attention that day. There's no competition. A friend is a person who honors your accomplishments. You graduated, you completed your GED. You graduated from high school, or you graduated from college, or you wrote a book, or you bought that house, or you got out of debt. They're going to honor you. They're going to celebrate you. They're not going to be secretly hating you and wanting and seeing how they can one up you. They're going to promote your business on social media. They're going to share your website link. They're going to buy your books. They're going to buy your product. They're going to tell other people about your services and your business. They're going to honor you. That's your friend. They're going to put their money where their mouth is. They're going to take part. They're going to support you. They're going to sow into your business. Even if you have a business and they don't need your services. They'll give a donation, or they will refer other people to you, and they're not going to throw it up in your face. They're not going to expect anything in return. A real friend will honor you and say thank you. There's reciprocity in the relationship. They just don't have their hand out all the time. Looking to see what they can get from you, but they don't give you anything. A friend will honor you when they are down and out, and you have the ability to help them until they get on their feet. A friend will then return the favor. They will say thank you, or when they get on their feet, they're not going to forget about you. They're going to return the favor. They're going to remember the kindness that you bestowed upon them, and they're going to return the favor. They're not the type of person who, oh, okay, yeah, you was there for me when I was down and out, and now that I'm, back on top again, oh, I don't forgot all about you. No, at the very least, they're going to say thank you. Thank you so much. When I was, everything wasn't really working out the way I wanted it to, you was there for me. You helped me get through a difficult time. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. At least the bare minimum, say thank you. And then this is what really, really caught my attention. Friend, the definition of friend: set free from slavery or confinement. A friend is going to make sure you free. A friend is not going to keep you confined. A friend is not going to make it seem like, girl, without me, you ain't nothing. A friend is not going to make you feel like they're not going to one up you. We've all heard of situations where um, mean girls will keep one ugly friend around, quote unquote, ugly. And I use that word loosely because in their perception, this girl is ugly. She doesn't line up to their standards of beauty, um, whatever that may be. But they keep one ugly friend around so they can get all the attention. We've heard of situations like that. Some of us may have even been the mean girl and participated in that kind of scenario. Well, that's an example of somebody keeping you enslaved, or confined. They know you have low self-esteem. They know that your self-esteem is not the greatest. And they know that for you to be seen with them and their friends, quote unquote, you feel that it's an honor, it's a privilege. And they play on that. They play on that. And they want to keep you down. There are people who you think are your friends, but they want to keep you down. They want to make sure you don't do anything where you're above them. You're outshining them. You're outdoing them. They're always trying to one up you. They watching you. They calling you friend, but low key they over there spying and watching you and seeing what your next move is, and then they come out to one up you, to quote unquote do better than you. They're in competition with you. They want to keep you down. They want to keep you confined. They want to keep you in your place. Know your place. Know your place. Stay in your lane. They don't want you coming. They don't want you coloring outside the lines. because then they're afraid, oh, you won't be my friend anymore. And what it really is that their insecurities are now being brought to the surface. So instead of them addressing their insecurities and working to heal themselves, let me just keep you down because I don't want you being more, doing more than me. Or I don't want you to think that you're doing something. So I'm gonna let you know, I can do that too. You ain't nobody. You ain't nobody. I can do that too. You ain't nobody special. Are you hanging around people, associating with people, keeping company with people, labeling these people friends who are keeping you in slavery, keeping you confined? When you go around them, you can't be your true self because you afraid they gonna be judgmental and talk about you. You may like to read, you may like to go to art museums, but you don't want to talk about the latest book that you read because they're gonna call you a nerd. But those people are your friends, but they're keeping you confined. You can't be your true self. You can't say, "Oh, I went to the art museum today and I saw this lovely painting and I really like this painting." You can't talk about that because you're afraid they just gonna talk about you and say, "Girl, you who does that? You such a nerd. Who go to art museums? Girl, you sound dumb." So they keep you in prison. They keep you afraid to express who you really are and talk about the things that you enjoy. A friend does not do that. Maybe they don't like going to art museums. Maybe, that's where you all differ. You have different tastes in how you choose to spend your time, but they still listen. They're still fascinated by it. They still encourage you to to keep going to art museums. They may even ask you, "Hey girl, did you go to the art museum today? I remember you told me how you went to one and you really liked it. Have you been to any more?" That's what a real friend will do and say. They're not going to talk about you. A real friend is not going to say to you or make you feel worthless or dumb because you made a decision that they don't like. Or they coming up in your face telling you, "Oh, who was there for you? Who was there for you? Who was there for you?" What? Now, I'm not saying, let's be clear. You need to give honor where honor is due because that's part of being a friend. You need to recognize and give gratitude and thankfulness and appreciation to the people who helped you be the person that you are today and to help you get to where you are today. Let me be very clear. There's a distinction here that you need to give honor and gratitude for those people. What I'm talking about is a person who uses that to keep you dependent on them, to make you feel as if that you can't do anything by yourself because, oh, they did this for you. You got to stay in this abusive relationship. You got to stay with them, demoralizing you and talking to you like you're just trash, like you are nothing, you are invaluable. You got to stay there and take that treatment, that mistreatment, because of everything they did to you. That's what I'm talking about. Let's be very clear. That's the kind of friend that I'm talking about, who keeps you enslaved or confined. That you feel as if they make you feel as if, "Oh girl, you ain't nothing. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have that man. You wouldn't have that glow up because you was hanging around me is the reason why you are where you are." Don't ever forget that. That's what I'm talking about. Those kind of people who make it seem like you are nothing without them. And if you try to do anything without them, then you are stupid. It's going to fail. It's not going to work. You're a loser. You're dumb. Those are the kind of people I'm talking about. They're just bringing up all the things they did for you to control you. So you can stay under their thumb, and they can oppress you and enslave you and keep you beneath them because it's an ego thing with them. They're telling you this because it makes them feel important. They want to make it seem like they're better than you. So you bet not step out and start that business. You bet not step out and go to school. Because remember who made you. Remember who, got you to where you are. That's abuse. And those are not your friends. Know the difference between abuse and honor. Honor is, I recognize that I'm not self-made. Honor is, I recognize and give appreciation to the fact that there were people who literally gave their life for me to to enjoy this moment, to have this moment, to have this opportunity. That's honor. Abuse is, you ain't nothing, you ain't gonna never be nothing, and the only reason you are a little bit of something is because of me and what I did for you. I paid that bill. I put food on the table. Know the difference. So are you, based on what I've just said, are your friends really your enemies? Are your friends really your enemies? Because and by no means is this limited. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on and on to give you characteristics of friends, which I will do in the next episode. But just the little bit that I have said, have you mislabeled people in your life and you've called them friends when they're really your enemies? According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, the word enemy is defined as one that is antagonistic to another, especially one seeking to injure, overthrow, or confound an opponent. Now that we know the definition of enemies, maybe the person who really is your friend is your enemy based on this definition. Because based on what I've just said for the past probably like 40 minutes, are they antagonistic toward you? Do they tell you whenever you speak your dream and say what you want to do and want to be, oh girl, you ain't gonna be able to do that. What money? Oh, you ugly. You ain't gonna be able to do that. You don't even know how to talk right. What? What? You don't have the money for that. Ain't nobody gonna listen to that song. That song, that's whack. Ain't nobody gonna buy that dress that you designed. That's ugly. Ain't nobody gonna listen to you. What? Are they being antagonistic? Are they being opposing? Because that's what antagonistic is. I'm opposing you. I'm coming up against you. I'm in conflict with you. Every time you speak something positive or a dream or a goal, I'm coming up against it. I'm making you feel less than. Is this person that you're calling a friend, but they're really your enemy? They're seeking to injure you. They low key. They low key throwing shade at you. When I was a teacher and I was teaching Shakespeare, I can't remember what play it was, but it was a line in a Shakespearean play about how the truest things, people say the truest things in jest. And jest means being funny in a comedic way, in a laughing and joking way. That's why a lot of times a comedian is really telling you the truth. But you so busy laughing, ha 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 ha, you think it's funny that you don't realize that they're low key giving you truth. And sometimes our quote unquote friends are throwing shade being mean to us, but they disguise it in a funny way. Oh, girl, I'm just playing. People do it all the time in text messaging and social media on posts. They'll say something sarcastic, but then they'll follow it with a LOL. Like, no, I see the shade you throwing. I see it. You over here low key you're injuring me. You're injuring my self-esteem. You're injuring my idea, my goal, my thoughts, my beliefs. But you're trying to be funny with it. And hoping that I don't catch it or I don't take it serious. So are they seeking to injure you? Are they seeking to destroy your relationship? Destroy your marriage? Are they seeking to destroy your household? Come in and cause division? They over here planting seeds of discord and gossip, and they low key behind your back trying to take your man or your husband. Is your business partner attempting to injure the business and take money? And out here throwing dirt on your name and reputation, then you wonder why people don't want to do business with you. Are they seeking to overthrow? They're seeking to take out whatever it is that you have built so that they can be mindful. Oh, come on, Holy Spirit. There are some people who will plant seeds of discord and chaos behind your back just so they can later in your face act like they are a caring friend. Dang, girl, I'm so sad that happened to you. Dang, that's so messed up, girl. I'm here for you. What you need? Let me help you. Some people purposely overthrow, destroy your life, bring destruction behind your back, and then in your face act like, oh, I'm here for you. And you're thinking that this person is really your friend. Man, they always there for me. Every time something happens, they got my back. They helping me. They giving me an ear to listen. But you don't realize that they're the reason why something is always happening to you. So they can turn around and make it seem like they're really your friend. Now that sounds sadistic. It sounds like a sociopath type of behavior, savage behavior. But there are people who are doing this right now in your life. They're the ones that caused your life to be all messed up, for your finances to be all messed up, your marriage to be all messed up, your relationship with your kids to be all messed up. They the ones that caused it. They the ones that caused all the drama in the workplace. They caused it. But yet they're making it seem like they're here to help you. Girl, I got your back. What you need, girl? But they're the ones doing it. They're the ones causing all the problems. A real friend is not going to do that. They're going to tell you to your face, this is why your life is the way that it is. And I'm going to help you so you don't have to keep living like this. They're going to tell you to your face. They're not going to go behind your back, cause the problem, and then act like they're the solution to the problem. See, a lot of times we think our enemies are people that check us and tell us like, no, I don't agree with that. See, we think our enemies are people that don't agree with us or they tell us about ourselves. See, we think our friends are the people who are yes men and yes women. Everything we do, yes, girl, yeah, girl, you look good, girl. Knowing you look a hot mess. And we think the enemies are the ones who tell us, nah, girl, that don't look too good on you. We call them the ones that's hating on us. They'll tell you, nah, that don't look too good on you. Why don't you try something else? Because see, a friend will say, you know what, I don't agree with that. I'm going to tell you why I don't agree with that. And why don't you try to look at it in a different way? A person who does that is your friend. They're not hating on you because they're offering you a solution to be a better person. If it's not followed up with a solution for you to be a better person, they're not your friend. Because a friend will tell you, you know, you were wrong and you're going to have to be punished. You're going to have to just deal, you're going to have to deal with the cards that were dealt to you. It's okay. I'm still your friend. I still love you. But you're going to have to take accountability for that. That's your friend. An enemy is going to help you avoid the consequences of your decision. They're going to scheme and scam with you. They're going to make sure that you don't get in trouble for what you did. That's not your friend. That's your enemy. Because a friend knows that if you take responsibility for your actions and whatever consequences come, if you take those consequences, they know that you're going to be a better person because of it. And if you're a better person because of it, guess what? The friendship is better. It's a win-win situation. A friend will want you to be responsible for your actions and take whatever consequences come, whatever punishment may come, whatever. They want you to deal with that because guess what? You're going to be a better person. And if you're a better person, then you're a better friend. You're a better co-worker. You're a better sister. You're a better father. You're a better husband. You're a better girlfriend. They're going to want you to be better because they think long term. An enemy is going to try to get you to avoid and scam the system and scheme and not take responsibility. And what you don't realize is that all they're doing is setting you up for failure in the long term. Because if you don't take responsibility for whatever it is, then you're not going to be a better person. You're just going to continue to cause destruction, not only in your life, but in the lives of those connected to you. That's not your friend. But we think that's our enemy. We think that a person who doesn't agree with us, who tells us about ourselves, that's our enemy. If they're not liking everything that we do, girl, you ain't like my post today. We think that they hating on us, that they jealous of us. No, maybe you're being messy and they don't agree with that. But we look at it as, oh, they hate and they jealous. No, no, we're confusing friends with enemies and enemies with friends. Some of the very people that you can't stand are the ones who want the best for you. The reason why they are just that thorn in your side is because they see the best in you. They see the best in you. And they want you to see the best in yourself, and you're not seeing it. And you're thinking this person is your enemy. You just can't stand them. But they really want what's best for you. Because guess what? They're not agreeing with your foolishness. They're letting you know, we're going to place some boundaries up in here. You're not going to act this way. Not only are you not going to act this way with others, but you're not going to act that way with me. Those are the ones that really love your soul and want the best for you. But you call them your enemies. And most of the time, and this came to me, and I believe that I'm going to end with this. I always do that preacher end. You go to church and they say, okay, I'm ending, and then they talk and preach for another 15, 20 minutes. But I believe I'm gonna end with this. And it came to me this morning. When you don't know your purpose, when you don't know why you're here on this planet, the people that you call your enemies, you usually label people who are your enemies, or you label a person your enemy based on trivial things. Oh, you don't like the way they look at you, or they didn't agree with you, or they told you you was wrong, or they told you, you know what, you're not a person of your word and I can't trust you. We can't hang out anymore. Or I don't like how you treated that person. That was mean. And until you change, we can't be friends anymore. Those are the people we label our enemies. Or we try to talk about or dog or whatever. We see somebody, living their life and really trying to improve their life and their situation, and we talk about them and we drag their name in the dirt, and they think they all that, and we don't like them. Usually the reason we pick those trivial things out about a person and we then label them an enemy is because we don't know our purpose. So we look at those things are ego driven. All of those things I said are ego driven. You're considering them your enemy because based on your ego. But when you know your purpose, the only person that is your enemy is the person who is going against what God told you to do. That's your enemy. It has nothing to do with anything else. Your enemy is the person who is attempting to block, stop, hinder what God told you to do. Let me give you an example. If God told you, I'll put it this way. This is what's coming to my head. Tyler Perry. Don't know why. This is the example I'm supposed to give you. He knew that he knew that he knew that he knew that he was supposed to do movies and stage plays. He knew this. He knew this. If you listen to any interview with Tyler Perry, he tells his story. He just knew it. So an enemy for him would have been anybody who told him, whatever, you still doing them stupid plays. Why don't you get a real job? Ain't nobody gonna come to that play. Ain't nobody gonna pay to come see that. That sounds stupid. Those were his enemies because they were coming against what he knew God had told him to do. What he knew to be his purpose in this earth. His purpose is to tell stories. And he does that either through stage plays or through movies or through television shows. He does this through media. So anybody that came against that or comes against that is his enemy. And he has a right to engage in warfare and take his enemy out, remove his enemy from the battlefield. And I'm not saying that in a literal way. It could mean that, okay, we can't be friends anymore because you're coming against what God told me to do. I can't take you with me on this journey because you're going against what God told me to do. That's your enemy. Not somebody who you just don't like the way they look. Not somebody who just don't agree with you and your mess and your foolishness. That's not your enemy. Not somebody who calls you out when you do something wrong. Not somebody who calls you out and says, hey, wait a minute, you acting one way with me, but when we go with this person, you're acting another way. That's not your enemy. Your enemy is somebody who goes against what God told you to do. They go against your purpose. They attempt to stop it. That's your enemy. Once you identify your purpose, why you're here, and you start walking in it, and your life, your purpose becomes your lifestyle, everything you do is related to your purpose, you're going to start redefining who your enemies are. It's not going to be the little trivial stuff. And you're going to realize that the people that you called enemies, once you identify your purpose and you begin walking in it and expressing it in your everyday life, you're going to realize that the people that you called your friends were really your enemies because they were stopping you, they were antagonizing you from um antagonizing you to get you to stop or to stop walking in your purpose or doing your purpose or believing in your purpose. You're going to realize that those people really weren't your friends. The ones who wanted to go to the club with you and stay out to 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, the ones who wanted you to be drunk all the time and do drugs all the time and sleep with all these different people, the ones who wanted you to steal and lie and scheme and scam and talk about people, you're going to realize those people were really trying to stop you from living out your purpose, from knowing your purpose, that they really were your enemy, and that your enemies really were your friends. Because anybody who wants you to be a better person is your friend. I don't care if you don't like how they said it. If their intention is to make you a better person, that is your friend. Anybody that's preventing you from one, knowing what your purpose is, if they're always keeping you distracted with foolishness and oh, let's have a good time. There's nothing wrong with having a good time. It's nothing wrong with inviting people to the cookout and y'all just turning up. It's nothing wrong with that. But if that's what they're doing all the time, every time you talk to them, all they doing is turning up and drinking and clubbing and sleeping with everything that's walking and just not doing anything productive with their life, just watching Netflix all the time, on social media all the time. They're always scheming and plotting about how they can, cause drama and strife in somebody else's life. They always concerned with everybody else. Those people are your enemies, and if they encourage you to do all of the things that I just said, they encourage you to do that, they entertain it, and you don't know your purpose, they're your enemy because they're distracting you with all this foolishness. So you don't even take the time to ask God, what is my purpose? And then not only ask God, what is my purpose, but then wait for the answer. They're trying to distract you so you don't even ask the question and that you don't even get the answer. If you know what your purpose is, they're your enemy if they prevent you from living out your purpose. They always distracting you. They always got something discouraging to say. They always want to turn up. They want to spend 2, 3 hours with you talking about nothing when you could have spent those 2, 3 hours working on your purpose. They're distracting you in whatever way that they distract you. You may be your own worst enemy. Because remember, as as within, so without, as above, so below. People are only going to treat you the way you treat yourself. So if you got somebody in your life always distracting you with foolishness, it's because that's what you do to yourself. You're always distracting yourself with foolishness. You don't commit to what you say you're going to do. You don't have discipline. You don't have dedication. You don't have perseverance. You're not focused. You say you're going to do this, and then you spend 2, 3 hours. You say that you're going to apply for these different colleges. You're going to apply for these different programs. And then you spend 2, 3 hours on social media. And you wake up or you look up and you realize, I didn't even do what I said I was going to do. So if you treat yourself that way, How do you expect other people to treat you differently? People are only going to treat you the way you treat yourself. So if you distract yourself from your purpose and accomplishing your goals, then that's what other people are going to do to you. I'm telling you, I know this for a fact because I see it in my own life. Because when I realized what my purpose was and I began to walk that thing out and embrace it, it came to me that the people who I called my friends were really my enemies. And the people that I thought were my enemies were really my friends. And that is all. Giving here on the screen is the way that you can give and support this message and this channel. And I deliberately gave several different ways to give because we tend to think that the only way somebody can support you and what God has called you to do is just through money. Money is one way, and it's greatly appreciated if that's the way that you feel that you need or you're led to support my message and my purpose and my ministry and all that stuff. But there are other ways that when I leave this planet, this my legacy, I want to know that people gave to life and gave to those around them in other ways versus just money. Because we have too many examples in this world where people, parents or whatever, give money, give money, give money, and their children still aren't happy and they still aren't fulfilled. That's why I give you different ways in which you can give and support. Because some of these ways are far more valuable than money. So whatever, when you look on the screen, whichever one speaks to you the most, then do that. And I am eternally grateful that you chose to give in that way. Because what you give, you get. Whatever you reap, you sow. You will get a harvest. And so I am thankful in whichever way you choose to give. All right. And gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for staying with me for an hour and now 12 minutes. Pay attention to what you don't see because what you don't see will help you make sense of what you are seeing. Remember, look beyond the mountain. You just looking at the mountain. Tell that mountain to be removed and cast into the sea so you can see beyond that mountain. You can see what's behind that mountain. Because the reason we make poor decisions in our lives is because we're so focused on what we're looking at that we don't ask for the wisdom to see beyond what we're looking at. So pay attention to what you don't see because what you don't see will help you make sense of what you are seeing. And until next time, stay blessed and stay away.